Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Welcome to the kindergarten family information night for the kindergarten school year, next year's school year of the 21-22 school year, which is very exciting. So I see some new faces and I see some upcoming Glacier Ridge faces. So we are excited to have you. My name is Pete Curdy. I'm the principal here at Glacier Ridge. We are recording this presentation, so if you want to watch it over and over again, or if you have trouble sleeping, you're welcome to watch it. The presentation will also be available afterwards as well, so you don't need to watch the entire video if you want the information. I am accompanied by some other staff members as well as some PTO, so we will turn the presentation over to them at various points. But I would like to welcome Kelly Axelband, who is our administrative intern, and she'll be speaking a little bit, as well as Lori Kuhn, who is our school guidance counselor. And then we also have PTO members, both current leadership and next year's leadership. So welcome to the PTO. And you'll hear from them as well. A little bit of logistical items as we get through our presentation. If you have questions, you're welcome to put them into the chat as we go through our presentation. I'll share with you the presentation as we are going through it, but if you have specific questions during it, Kelly Axelband will take care of those questions or read those questions, make sure that we get them addressed either in the moment or afterwards. There will also be an opportunity to ask questions live as well if you have questions after our presentation, because we want to make sure that you feel comfortable with the information and make sure that you have all of the items that you need, because sometimes this process is a little more nerve-wracking for families than it is for the children. So we will be here literally and figuratively to hold your hand and walk you through it. I'd also like to say a huge thank you to all of those that are here with us this evening. We're excited that you are joining our school community, and I'm excited whether it's your first child at Glacier Ridge or your last child. I know it is a huge range of emotions, and we are here to support you. And then lastly, thank you for trusting us with your children. This is a huge risk, and it may feel like it is nerve-wracking for you trusting somebody else with your child, but I will tell you that we take our jobs very seriously and we treat the students as if they are our own. So I'm going to present our screen as we get through, and our presentation should take about an hour or so. But if you have questions, again, please make sure you let us know. Lori Kuhn, can you give me a thumbs up if you can see our screen?
I can.
Okay.
We're good.
This first slide, I will tell you, is just a video of myself, which you can watch on your own if you would like. It talks a little bit about myself and who I am as a principal, but I will tell you personally rather than making you watch a video of myself. Again, my name is Curdy and I'm the principal of Glacier, and this is my 8th year at Glacier Ridge. Next year will be my 9th. And next year will also be my 15th year of being a principal. And I'll tell you that I love my job. I love Glacier Ridge. I love what I do. And I love being here. I moved to Dublin City Schools years ago for my own children to attend Dublin City Schools. And although they don't attend Glacier, they are at Dublin Elementary Schools. And we moved here for the school system. A little bit about Glacier Ridge. We're going on our 15th year of existence, but I'm going to tell you about the culture first. First of all, I love my job and what I do, and I will tell you that that everybody also loves their job and loves what they do. It's almost like we establish a positive culture where people love coming to work and love working with children. Secondary to that is the kindness atmosphere and the atmosphere that we establish. Our motto is choose kind, and we get that motto from the book Wonder. And in that book, it is about a school and a community's struggle with a child that is a little bit different. In that book, the main message is we all have a choice about what we do, how we act, and how we treat people. And ultimately, we want to choose kindness and choose our actions, choose how we treat other people, and that is kindness. So those of those family members that have experienced Glacier Ridge already, hopefully you would agree with that we exemplify kindness and we exude that not only in our actions towards you, our actions towards each other, and especially the actions that we have with children and foster amongst students. I'm going to play this video for you because although I've told you I love Glacier Ridge, I think it's important for you to hear from the students. I will be honest with you, this video is a year old or so, but their answers probably are very similar to what current kindergartners would say about what they love about kindergarten. What do you love about kindergarten?
I love about kindergarten because I love having a good day outside and being nice to my friends all the time. I like my teacher. My favorite about kindergarten is recess and math problems. Mrs. Knosman reads to me. I like playing with my friend at recess. I like to read the cat.
What do you love about kindergarten?
I like spending time with Mrs. Knosman. I like doing math problems. I love recess.
What do you love about kindergarten?
I like to draw. I love to draw books and write them. I like to read. I love that I get to do math at school, and I also did math in the morning with chocolates. I love my teacher. I like to learn in kindergarten. I like to learn in Mrs. Master's class. I love because my teacher she lets me do a lot of fun stuff. I like recess.
So you can see we have recess and the kids love it. But you notice that many of them talked about the learning experiences that they have, and a lot of them talk about the teacher relationships that they have. So those are equally as important as a recess, although the kids may not always. Just a few of our staff members. Sarah Wilcox is the assistant. I will tell you that we do have some staff members that are here this evening or that are on. The kindergarten teachers could not be part of the presentation this evening, but we have multiple staff members. The first one is Kelly Axelband, who will be speaking in a moment. Our two kindergarten teachers are Mrs. Knosman and Mrs. Thiel, and they have been here for a significant amount of time as well. And right now, and we also have Lori Kuhn, who will be speaking as well, who is our guidance counselor. But right now I'm going to turn it over to Kelly Axelband to talk about a few slides.
Hi everyone, I'm Kelly Axelband and I am the administrative intern at Glacier Ridge. It is my first year in this role and at Glacier Ridge, and now that I've been there for this year, I can say that it's a great place to be, and we're super excited to have all of you join the Glacier Ridge family. So prior to that, I was a teacher at Wyandotte Elementary and Bailey Elementary. So I've been around and I reside in Dublin with my family and I absolutely love it. So happy to have everyone here. A little bit about our district, which some of you may already know. We have 14 elementaries. So this year we opened 2 new elementary schools. Next year we will have 5 middle schools with Eversole Run opening, and then 3 high schools. So as you know, it's a very large district and we are continuously growing. This slide right here is what we call our profile of a learner, and it really reflects our community's priorities and expectations of knowledge that students in Dublin City Schools should possess. There are three main components of this, as you can see: knowledge, skills, and character. And in Dublin City Schools, we work every day to provide students with a world-class instruction and education that focuses on continuous improvement. And we really try to align our daily work around these three main components. These have been identified as being very important to community members, staff members, students alike. So we like to refer to it as the Dublin difference. And we really believe in developing these skills in our learners every day. I will turn it over to, I believe, Melissa Bogner, PTO, and she's gonna kind of introduce some of the other PTO members and start out on this slide.
Thank you, Kelly. As she mentioned, my name is Melissa Bogner. I am this year's PTO president. Next year, I wanted to introduce our two new co-presidents. If Ning Kalmar and Ellie Moore, if you could kind of just give a good old wave, they'll be our co-PTO presidents next year, along with Hillary Brooks will be one of our VPs. She has joined this call from the sidelines of a soccer game, so she has her camera off, but she is here enjoying this session as well. But just want to give a little overview of our PTO. As Pete mentioned, kindness is a huge theme at Glacier Ridge, and that's one of the things that we do as a PTO is help support the mission and vision of the school. And what we do is we want to align our resources, which are both monetary donations as well as our parent volunteers, and align those with the direction of the school and help out where we can. We have a very active PTO. It did look a little different this year, but as we teach our kids to be flexible, it was a really good lesson for us adults to be flexible as well. And again, we had that opportunity to align for what the school needed this year versus maybe in other years. In more normal years, which we are all crossing our fingers, we're going to get back to next year. We do host a handful of activities and enrichment that our students can get involved with and our staff. Pete had mentioned kindness. Just this year, we brought on a new project, Cards of Kindness, where our whole school wrote cards to individuals in the community. We help support a nice initiative. Pete had mentioned the book Wonder, and we kind of took that on as a project. Have a little extra motto about saying one way that you can show kindness as a student is just to start with hello and make a connection and then hopefully create a great friendship. And so we work on that with our students as well. And from a monetary standpoint, we're able to kind of help provide some items, t-shirts, hats that get kids excited, kind of about that initiative. As a PTO and as a parent, everyone is a member of the PTO. So congratulations, you guys are all get to join on. And what I'm going to do is turn it over to Ellie, who will be one of our co-presidents next year. And she's going to just tell you a couple things that you guys could even get started on today as parents to take some action. So thank you.
Thanks, Melissa. Hey, everyone. My name's Ellie Moore, and as Melissa said, I'm the co-VP this year with Hillary. This is Abram. He will be joining the kindergarten crew as well. And I will be co-president with Ning for next year. So I am here as a mom and as part of the PTO. So things that you can do to get started now is by liking our Facebook page. It is just Glacier Ridge Elementary PTO, and we post there very regularly on items that are on events that we're doing. If you have questions and stuff, you can post them there as well, or even on Messenger. You can also email us at glacierridgepto@gmail.com. That is also checked regularly. We also have Amazon Smiles, so you can link your Amazon Prime. Yes, Prime. Thanks. That was Matt in the background, my husband. you can link that. So when you're purchasing, that helps earn money for the PTO for us to use. We also have where you can link your Kroger card as well. That one, it does get tricky because you have to update that yearly. So if that's something that you want to do, just go into the app. I believe you can do it over the app and you can link it there. And then also box tops, collecting box tops. And what's really cool about this year is that it's all like through their app. And so you can scan your receipt and then that's it. So there's no more clipping your box tops or anything. So super easy. And then other things that you can do is join the PTO, the exec board, and or even decide to chair a like staff appreciation or beautification, things like that. And so we actually have our Sign Up Genius right now for the executive board and the chairs as well. So we can even post that in the chat. So that way, if you want to, you can take a look. And if you have any questions, just reach out to Glacier Ridge PTO email and we'll answer any questions. I really apologize.
No.
All right, and that is all I have.
Thanks, Ellie. Ready for the next slide, I think. Yes, so I just want to give you a little bit more information about our start and stop time. So next year, school will be at the normal hours, nothing is changing. And just to reiterate for kindergarten, it is AM kinder 9:10 to 11:45 AM. The bus arrives at 9. And then PM kindergarten is 1 PM to 3:40, and the bus arrives at Glacier Ridge at 12:50. If your student is going to be absent, we ask that you email the attendance email address to report that by 9:15 AM if you can. On the first day of kindergarten, which is a very exciting day, teachers will meet their students by the front entrance. And parents will have an opportunity to take pictures, say your last goodbyes. And then at dismissal, we will make sure that teachers are walking them out and that we help them all get to where they're going. And we will continue to use these processes until the routines are well established to make sure that our youngest learners get to and from school safely during arrival and dismissal. If you want more information about arrival and dismissal procedures, if you've never been part of that before, it is a very well-oiled machine, and you will certainly get into the groove, but that link right there, the Glacier Ridge frequently asked questions, has a lot of really good things to know and information. So if you want to click that, feel free. Also, we have a lot of ways to stay informed at Glacier Ridge and with Dublin City Schools. So to get the most up-to-date information, these are a few pointers. Dublin City Schools has a mobile app, so you can go ahead and download that through the App Store and install that on your devices. In addition, you will get signed up for weekly emails from Dublin, the district, and then the building, Glacier Ridge, and the PTO. So we send out weekly newsletters to your inbox via email. In addition, if you want to visit dublinschools.net, there's a lot of great information on there as well and we have a Glacier Ridge website too that you can get to through the district website. As Melissa mentioned, and I think Ellie mentioned too, the PTO does have a Facebook page, so you can look for that, and Glacier Ridge has a Twitter, so feel free to follow us there. We take safety and security very seriously at Glacier Ridge, and student safety is always a huge priority. We have many procedures in place that ensure students and staff feel prepared in the event of an emergency. So we do have monthly drills such as tornado, fire, lockdowns, and those types of things. Although we do tread lightly with the students, especially our youngest learners, when talking about these types of things, because we don't want to, make them fearful. So we do make sure to talk appropriately depending on their ages about these types of things. All exterior doors are locked at the school, so it's a very safe environment, and then visitors sign in through the office. So that's a little bit about our safety and security at Glacier Ridge.
Thank you, Kelly. I'm going to talk a little bit about logistics of the health and clinic at Glacier Ridge. And all this information will be available afterwards. You may have seen in the comments that we will email out this presentation. In addition, we'll email out this video, and then all of the links that are in this presentation will be available as well. So we will walk you through it and help guide you between now and the start of school. Regarding our clinic, we do have a full-time clinic aide that is available at Glacier Ridge every day during the time that the students are here. We also have her name is Mrs. Butterfield. We also have a rotating nurse, Mrs. Kim Atherton, who is a registered nurse that she rotates between 2 or 3 buildings, and she is available as well. Our job essentially is to keep kids safe and healthy, and to keep families informed regarding the health and safety of their children. So that is the role of the clinic and role of the clinic aide and nurse. There are some information regarding the clinic specifically. Your immunization records are important, and you'll need to be up to date on your immunization records. You'll also need to fill out any allergies or any health information. If you haven't done so already through registration, you'll be asked to do so again at the beginning of the year and update all that health information, which goes directly to our clinic, and then that is communicated to classroom teachers and applicable staff. So there is that link there on that slide, and it'll have more information about the health and clinic. I will tell you, COVID has certainly been something that we've been dealing with, and it has been changing throughout this year. So I wish I could answer specific questions regarding what health and safety protocols look like next year. But as you've been following this year, it has changed so drastically, so I wouldn't be able to give you an accurate prediction of what that looks like. But you'll receive that information throughout the summer in order to prepare for the beginning of the school year. One of the most frequent questions that we get is, how can I request AM or PM for my child? And this is the information for that specifically. You will be emailed following this presentation, and it's a link in here, the student profile AM and PM preference form. That form is really dual purpose. It is important for you to be able to communicate what your child is like as a learner and as a person. Right now, you know them better than anybody does, but we want that information in order to make the best informed classroom placement and peer relationships. So we want to know about your child as a person and as a learner. So that form is the opportunity to do that. In addition, it is the AM and PM preference form. It asks you, do you prefer AM or PM? And a caveat to that is, it is not a guarantee that you'll get AM or PM, but we really try hard to make sure that we accommodate as many family requests as possible. And I'll tell you that we understand that the logistics of childcare and daycare, or where and when your child is coming to school half a day and when they're not coming to school half a day. So we certainly understand that challenge. So we do ask for, when you provide that that preference, you give a little bit of rationale of why you're preferring it, and that helps us determine if we can make that request or not. But if we can, we will accommodate 100% of the families. It just may not be possible. For example, if all the families request AM, that's just not possible. We'll need some families in the PM. The form is due May 10th, so you'll get that email with that form link later this week, and it's due May 10th. And you'll just describe yourself as a learner and any information that you would like us to know, and we'll do the best that we can to accommodate. Another upcoming date for you is summer assessments. All Dublin schools do summer assessments for our kindergarten students, and it's really a way for us to get to know your child as a learner in person. It is not an assessment to determine if they are ready for kindergarten or not ready for kindergarten. So I don't want you to be scared that you need to prepare them or that they should or should not know something. It is solely giving us a jump start on who your child is as a learner, giving them a little bit of exposure to Glacier Ridge. They will get to meet the kindergarten teachers and the reading staff. So it is a risk-free environment and just a comfortable environment for them to show us what they know and get to know a few of the staff members. Kelly Axelband and I will be there, as well as the kindergarten teachers and some of the reading staff. So it is a 60-minute time slot, and you'll see in the link to the presentation, the summer assessment sign up, which will also be emailed as part of your homework and to-do list. And you'll sign up, and we'll send out those reminders. It's through Sign Up Genius, but it is 60-minute time slots, and it is just brief, quick assessments in order to get to know your child. In the past, we've had parents stay in the comments during that time, and we even did that at the beginning of this year, but we will see what the protocol is as we start next year. But it's likely that you'll be able to come in with your child, and then the students will take and perform the assessments in the library while you wait outside. Phase-in days is something that you may have heard. And I'm sorry, there was a question, will there be other days available regarding the summer assessments? If you cannot make the summer assessment on those dates, then it is okay. We'll do those assessments at the start of school. So if you're on vacation during those weeks, then that's certainly understandable. There's no need to reschedule or come in at another time. We will just do those assessments at the start of school on those first few days, which is what I will transition to in a moment. So at the phase-in days, it gives us an opportunity exactly to do that. Half of the class will come on August 18th, half of the class will come on August 19th, and then the whole class will come that following Friday. And the purpose of this is to give the students a little bit of a transition into the classroom with fewer students, and the teacher will perform some of the assessments that they may not have done over the summer during those summer assessments. And it's just an opportunity for students to become more comfortable in a friendly environment with fewer students. Transportation, the second most frequent question that we get is, how will we know transportation procedures? And when will we know about our bus stop? How will the kids do on the bus? So I'll tell you, you'll get all of that information about specific arrival and dismissal procedures, and we'll talk a little bit about it in a moment. But we have multiple ways to get to Glacier Ridge. We have a parent pick up and drop off line. And that will be slightly different depending on if you are AM or PM, and that is all outlined in the frequently asked questions. But you are able to pick up and drop off if that's a way you would like to do so. We do have numerous daycares that pick up and drop off at Glacier Ridge, both morning and afternoon. We have in this presentation a link to the most frequent daycares that come here, but really it is up to you to work out with the daycare if they come to Glacier Ridge, because sometimes they do and sometimes they don't, depending on their clientele and schools that the students attend. If your child is a walker, they can come that way. I would recommend that that you walk with them, or they are supervised if they are a walker, but we do have some walkers. And then bus students, we do have some students that ride the bus. If kindergartners are morning kindergartners, they will ride the bus with all the other students grades K through 5, and they'll come in as they do usually. Then they'll go home midday on a bus. All kindergarten students get transportation midday, whether they're going home midday from AM kindergarten, or if they are coming to PM kindergarten midday. But they will all get midday transportation if that's something you would prefer, but it's not required. So then I would also tell you that the PM students that the PMs, sorry, hold on, let me see if I can mute everybody. If a student is PM, then they will come with other kindergarten students midday and then go home with kindergarten through 5th grade students on the bus. The transportation link will be open that week of school to find out where your bus stop is and what the time is. But there's a transportation department. They usually wait till just before school in order to set those transportation bus stops because they want to allow all students to register and get into school before they set those bus stops and times. A question about transportation: is it possible for DCS bus to pick up and drop off at a daycare location rather than a home location? The answer is yes. In a typical year, we did not allow that this year just for safety and health protocols. The stipulation to that is the daycare has to be in Glacier Ridge attendance zone. They will not pick up and drop off if the daycare is not within our regular route for Glacier Ridge. So for example, if there were a daycare within Tartan Ridge, which is right in our backyard, they would pick up and drop off, and there was a form for families to, in order for that to happen. But if a daycare is across town and not in our attendance area, the answer is they will not. So arrival and dismissal, especially for the first day of school, I'll tell you that kindergarten on the first day of school is always scary. It's scary for families. It's scary for kids. And the way we do it on the first day of school is kindergarten teachers and staff are out front at the very front of the school. And kindergartners will be wearing a lanyard that says pretty much, "I am a kindergartner, please help me," with their name on it. So we know exactly who to scoop up and make sure that they are in the right place. But most students come in the front and the teachers are there waiting. But we have staff at all the extremities of the building looking for the kindergartners and get them right to their classroom. So kindergartners, although it feels like a big building and it's scary, we scoop them up and help them get to their right place. I'll also tell you that many families want to do transportation slightly different on the first day of school. It's always an experience, and you want to take pictures and you want to help support your child. My recommendation is have your child ride or go to school, to and from school, how they normally would on the first day of school as they would on the second and the 180th. The reason I tell you that is because the first day of school, you work it out with your child and you drop them off. They feel comfortable with it. And then day 2, they are scared because now it's not the first day of school, and now they're coming to school on the bus by themselves. So what I would recommend for you, if you're going to have them ride the bus, have them ride the bus, and then maybe you can come to school and meet them to make sure that they get off the bus and that they feel safe and you can see them in the front. You can take any pictures. Or if you're going to drop off and pick up every day, then you certainly can do that. Or even with daycare, you can get them on the daycare bus and then meet them here at school. That will just allow them some consistency on the first day of school, because usually the first day of school goes completely fine. Everybody knows where they're going. It's the second day of school where everybody is going home a different way, and there may not be a conversation about it because it's completely new. So we've thrown a lot of information at you and a lot of dates at you. And as I said at the beginning of the year, or beginning of the presentation, we will hold your hand. And I did say probably figuratively and literally, but probably not during COVID. We won't literally hold your hand. But these are the dates and these are the next steps for you, because you'll be wondering as we get closer to the school year, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to know this information? And you may feel a little bit of anxiety not knowing information yet. So I wanted to allow you to see the timeline of events that will occur. The first thing is the AM, PM phase-in assignments. That's when you will know if your child is AM kindergarten or PM kindergarten. As I said earlier, that AM PM preference form and describing your child as a learner, that's due in May. And based on that information, we'll make classroom assignments. It is always a little bit tricky to do that in June because we may need to make adjustments based on enrollment. But we really try to give you that information so that you can make those child care arrangements as quickly as you can. School supply order. I will tell you that the school supply, that we offer school supplies, which we'll talk about in a moment as well. That school supply order will be live on Friday, and it is due June 4th. And I'll get to that information in a moment, but school supply orders are due June 4th. School information letter. You'll get an email from the school talking about next year and all the dates for next year and getting ready for the start of school. We will email that to all families in late July or sometimes early August. And that is the welcome back to school letter from me and from the school, talking about all the information you need to prepare. I'll also tell you that we talked about this already. The summer assessments are in July 26th and 27th. You will find out who your child's teacher is the week of August 9th, and that will be consistent for all of the students and all of the families. So if you have older children not in kindergarten, they'll find out that week as well. And then transportation, as I stated, they usually wait till very last to make sure that all students are enrolled as much as possible. That will come out August 17th. Meet the Teacher is also August 17th. That'll be the opportunity for kids to come in and find their classroom and meet their teacher. More information will be coming out about that as well, time and structure. That's in the back to school information letter that you'll get in July. And then phase-in dates we talked about already, and then the whole kindergarten class comes on August 20th. A follow-up email with this. Sorry about that. I did not remove some of the audio, which will be there for later. The last slide talks about, which I'm not going to go over just because the audio is there during the presentation mode, is all of the resources that we had through the entire presentation. You heard us mention the kindergarten frequently asked questions. There is a link there for the frequently asked questions. There is a link for the student profile form of requesting AM and PM preference. There is a link to the 21-22 school calendar, so you'll know what the district school calendar or district calendar is. The health and clinic information, which was hot linked on that health slide. The daycare services and latchkey list, which I referenced in terms of arrival and dismissal. So you can see which daycares are available for Glacier Ridge. And then the link to the school supply ordering information. Here's what I'll tell you about the school supply ordering information. On the surface level, it sounds like an amazing experience to take your child to Staples or to Target and pick out school supplies. And it's something that you might want to do with your first child going to school. I will tell you that as having done it with my own children, it's not quite as enjoyable as you might think. They love picking out items and they love seeing all the exciting things. And then you say, that's not on the list. And they say, but I want it. Our list is very specific. And the reason it's specific is because the school supply company that we are ordering asks for very specific brands and items. So I tell you that because on the list, when it does come out, it says Expo marker, green, fine tip pen with 3 lines written on it. So then now you as a family member go out with your child and try to find the green Expo pen with 3 lines written on it, and you can't find it. And then now your child is saying, no, but we need it. And you're saying, well, we don't really need it. We can't find it. So I'll tell you that 99% of the time, it's probably not as enjoyable as you would like. So my recommendation for you is purchase the school supply kit. It makes it so much easier for you. And the families that have said, oh, we went out and went school shopping the first year, they ordered the school supply kit every year after that for every child. So I do it as a parent for my own children. If you want the experience of going out and shopping with your child, you are more than welcome. And it may be an enjoyable experience for you, but I would say order the supply kits. It's not a moneymaker for us. It is a convenience set up by the PTO and by the school. It's solely a convenience for the families. The other advice I'll tell you regarding school supplies, don't wait, because that deadline of June I forget the date off, but I think it's June 4th. Yes, June 4th. That will come and go. And then you'll wonder, did I order school supplies? So as soon as you get the follow-up email with this presentation and the school supply kit and all of that information, do it right away. The link isn't available until Friday, but I say do it right away. So I tell you all this not because, or only because I have experienced it as a father, as well as a principal over the years of what the families have told me. And then the last link on that resource page is the summer assessment link to sign up. So that last slide, which I skipped over because it had the audio still on it, will have all of those links for you. I mentioned at the beginning of this that we have 2 kindergarten teachers and they couldn't be with us this evening, but they did prepare some videos that you can see in the presentation, and that'll be available for you afterwards. I will turn it over to Lori Kuhn at this time, and she is our school guidance counselor, and she will tell you a little bit about herself and a little bit about her experience and helping you to prepare for your child's kindergarten experience. So, Mrs. Kuhn.
Hi, my name is Lori Kuhn.
Uh-oh, there we go. I wanted to welcome all of you to Glacier Ridge. And I have to tell you, one of the things that I love about Glacier Ridge is our leadership. And I love the culture that we have really been trying to instill in all of our families. So I hope that you feel that warm and kind culture too when you come to Glacier Ridge. This is, gosh, I've been a guidance counselor for probably over 20 years. My boys have both been through Dublin City Schools, and one just got married and the other one just graduated from Ohio State and has his first job. So we always talk about the great education that our boys have received. So I hope that you feel that too. I'm going to talk a little bit about getting your child ready for kindergarten. Of course, you know, we will accept your child as they are. We love our kindergarten students, but there, you know, are a few things that you might work on between now and kindergarten. I'm going to explain just some basic skills. I'm not going to go over these in detail, but as Dr. Curdy said, you will receive this this Google slideshow, and it will have how you can help your child with these skills in more detail. But if we look at the first slide, getting your child ready, you can provide opportunities to practice executive functioning skills, and we explain in detail what those are later on. But executive functioning skills in a nutshell are, you know, we want our kids to pay attention, focus, remember instructions, develop self-control. And no, we don't expect your students to have all of those skills, but those are also a lot of the skills that we will also be working with your children on when they are in kindergarten. You can work to improve their social emotional skills, and just, you know, introducing those feeling words. You can help them build independence. A lot of times you can do that. Simple things, they can, you know, put their shoes on, pick out their outfits, learn to brush their teeth by themselves. So there are lots of those skills at home that you can work on during the summer. We want them, and we will be teaching them how to problem solve, think flexibly, and that failure really is an opportunity to grow. And then we want them to just play. We want them to have lots of unstructured free play. There's a lot of research that tells us that kids learn so many valuable social skills when they are doing some free play. What does your child need? Again, when we talk about those executive functioning skills, we want them to be able to manage themselves. We want them to be able to complete tasks, develop that independence and that self-direction again. We want them to be able to develop their needs and wants and ask for help. And again, we will be teaching them all of these skills as well. We want them to be able to follow a routine, take turns and share and really be sensitive to the feelings of others. And again, when you receive this, you'll be able to find some specific ways that you can work on these skills with your children at home.
Sorry, the presentation froze. At this time, we will ask any questions, but I will tell you that there are more slides in the presentation. Some of the slides were prepared by our kindergarten teachers, and it talks a little bit about what happens in the classroom and curriculum in the classroom. So although we won't talk about that, there is audio on those slides with the kindergarten teachers, not only introducing themselves, but talking a little bit about academics and curriculum and how you can help support that at home. What questions do you have? There is one question regarding kindergarten busing, and all kindergarten students, I'll repeat that answer or clarify a little bit. All kindergarten students do get midday busing, and that is regardless of how close you live to the school, but not all students get busing. And so those students that live within half a mile of the school typically do not get busing. The caveat to that is all kindergarten students get midday busing regardless of how close you live. So if you have a question of whether you would be getting busing or not, you can call the school and we can look up your address and let you know if you're within that half a mile radius in order to qualify for busing. But the caveat to that is all kindergarten students do get midday busing. If you have questions, you're welcome to unmute. You're welcome to type in the chat if you have questions. You can see on this slide, it has our email addresses. So you're welcome to email Kelly or I or Lori Kuhn if you have a question for her or anything that you'd like us to forward to her. So we'll pause just briefly in case there are any questions. But I'll tell you as we pause, we're excited for our new kindergarten students, and it may be a bit of a shock to you, but you may have seen on the first slide that the incoming kindergarten class will be graduating high school in, I think it was 2034. So that is a little bit abstract for all of us, but don't blink, it will come to fly by in an instant. So enjoy the moment, enjoy the time, enjoy their first day of kindergarten, and enjoy their elementary experience, because as a father, I know that it does go by very quickly. So I don't see any questions coming in, which is certainly okay. I will reiterate that this information will be available afterwards. We're just going to gather it all into a letter. So we'll probably send it out later this week and make sure that it's all in one spot for you. So again, if you have questions in the meantime, let us know. But we have enjoyed at least seeing your faces, seeing you. Thank you again to Kelly Axelband, to Lori Kuhn, to our PTO leaders, and to all of you who we are extremely excited to meet you if we haven't already. Extremely excited to meet the upcoming future kindergartners who will get to see the school and see the playground and all of the fun, exciting things that we have hopefully post-pandemic. So again, thank you very much. We appreciate your time, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Okay, thank you. Have a good night.